All right, guys. What's up, guys? Happy New Year. It's been a couple of days, but Happy New Year. I hope everyone's holiday season was all good. You know, if you do resolutions, I hope that you reach those resolutions, don't break those habits. And that 2022 is just a year of very, very solid success for everyone. Um, so, uh, Welcome back. It's been a minute. There is a reason for that, and I will get into that in a little bit. But as I put into the chat earlier, this is being recorded, so for future reference for anyone who's watching in the future, some things may have changed by the time you see this because this will be uploaded, but in this very moment, this is all current. So today, it's not necessarily the normal calls that we've done. It is essentially, we're mostly looking at new information being given in terms of new structure. There were a lot of changes that happened for me that will affect the calls, not necessarily in the worst way for anyone that watches, more so for myself, but that's fine. So we're going to go over all that, what it means, and then just some things to keep in mind moving forward. So as I said in the chat, this is our last time doing a Zoom call through this Zoom link. After tonight, it'll be DTM only. So in order to continue access to the calls, to training, all of that, you're going to have to be genuinely affiliated with DTM. We've been separated from IM for almost 6 months now. So I gave a solid amount of time to really make that transition over and be able to continue access without it being too overwhelming. Again, my intention is never to stop anyone from being able to get knowledge. So if you do need help in some kind of way in terms of that transition, please still do let me know. I'm not trying to, seclude people like that. I'm just trying to fully separate from IM, especially now with what I'll be going into in a few minutes. So in terms of the continued access, what I want to actually do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the course. So this course has actually been done. I'm showing you from the back end, show it as an enrolled student. This course has actually been done since the summer. And I have some people that are gaining access to the calls, and they've been accessing the calls solely through DTM. So essentially, it is the training course, right? So there's a couple different things, right? So there is the actual course, which it has the basic information. There's right now 2 segments. The first segment is for someone who's completely new. Everyone who's on this call right now probably would not need to go through that first module. Essentially, it's basically how to follow along in my calls, how to follow along when I give calls, puts, entries, things like that, and how to be able to just know what's going on. Now, the second part starts to get into the theory behind actual trading, starts getting into some good terminology in terms of being able to analyze the markets. And so that's kind of where you want to start paying more attention. Not that the first part is unimportant, but it's something that I would expect everyone on this call right now already is familiar with, right? So going on to that, I can open it, right? So you've got the training course itself. Like I said, section 1, how to verify your Cash App, terms to know, which is like call, put, entry, rollover, what is HFX, what's a broker, how to pick your broker, how to deposit, withdrawal, terms to know, and a wrap up, right? So these are all very, very basic things. If someone was completely new to trading and they wanted to figure out how to even start, that's what that is. And then section 2, intro to trading view. So this is getting your trading view setting up, how to identify support, resistance, identifying institutional movements, consolidations, indicators, things like that. And then chart analysis, as well as a little quiz, which, asking you what's the trend of the market, like how's the market responding, things like that, to really make sure that you have a really solid foundation of basic understanding of the market, so that now, rather than just listening to me say, hey, take a call, hey, take a put, right, you're essentially also able to kind of understand my thought process as I think out loud. As you guys know, I like to think out loud as I trade, so that, you know, if you do understand the terminology, you're still able to learn and not just copy paste, right? Because my goal has always been and will always be to make competent traders, not competent copiers, right? I don't want you just blindly copying me. And so that's always going to be the intention on my end, right? So that is these sections. And then I also offer personal private training sessions that people can do if this is going to load. Essentially, what we're looking at with that, whenever it chooses to load, there we go, is it's also not showing it as a student. So essentially, there's two different ways that you can get individual training. So you have one-on-one where it's particularly with me, no one else is in the call. So anything that you want in particular answered, any kind of training that you want, or if you just want to have extra trading sessions, maybe you can't make the trading sessions on schedule, so you have to set up another time with me, that would be this. Okay, and it really lets us go in depth. It's about 60 minutes of that. And then you've got group training, which is 3 or more people. And so if you have a particular group, particular people that you would like to trade with, or anything like that, that you guys are working together, then you can do the group training as well. So these are the different options. So this is the general calls, like what we have been doing. This is more individual, because I know a lot of people have asked me if I would be able to offer one-on-one training sessions. So that is that. And then I also have group training, just so it's more affordable. This isn't expensive really either. I'm not charging $100 for this session, you know, but this is just a little more affordable, because then you can kind of split the costs with your people and also be able to trade and learn with your friends, right? So those are kind of the options, and that is how to continue access, right? So my main recommendation is going to be, of course, using the course. That's going to give you the access to the Zoom links, which I'll go ahead and show you right now, right? Continued access to the calls is going to be right here in this live sessions tab, okay? So what's going to happen is that every single month, once a month, right? So probably around the first of the month, I will be going into here, into the live sessions tab, and it's going to be an updated Zoom link. It's not going to be anything crazy. You know, my old link was 424 or whatever. And then maybe next month it'll be some other number, right? Just randomized, just to make sure that the access is staying with people that are involved with DTM. That's going to help with, you know, things that we've dealt with before, such as random people that have started joining into people's calls and just kind of like saying things, doing things, and really being distractions. So it's going to really maintain authenticity in who is in the calls to ensure that we have as little distractions as possible. Okay. So some important information is going to be actually the structure of these calls now. So this is really less for you guys to be affected, more for me, and it's more for me to be wary of and to keep in mind, but I am going to let it be officially known now. Something pretty cool in my opinion, but you guys know that I train, you know, the institutional trading style and how to identify institutional movements in the market, right? So for example, just to make it simple, right? We look for, let me go to one that's not, we look for institutional movements. So something like this, these kinds of movements, large movements by banks, central banks, you know, firms that really move the market one way or another. Well, what's really fun about that is that I actually secured a job with Goldman Sachs, which is one of those firms that push the markets. Starting in the summer, I'll be working in their global market division. Really, really cool, really, really exciting. The trade-off for that is that I'm not allowed to use my own personal broker anymore. I can't use a broker that's not affiliated with them, which means I cannot personally trade on binary cent, race option, none of them. Okay. I have to trade on Goldman Sachs brokers. Thank you. Thank you. I'm willing to do that because trading was never my long-term career goal. I'm passionate about it, but I just don't see myself just sitting around trading all day. I've done it before. It gets boring. I know you can travel more, all of that. That gets boring. I'm the kind of person, I'm very like go, right? I need things to do. So for me, this was kind of the best bet. I get to trade for an institution, but at the same time, the trade-off, I have to trade their brokers. That's great, but I can't do what I was doing previously. So in terms of that, I'm still going to be running the calls. I'm still going to be running trading calls. I just will no longer be actively entering trades with you. Now it's going to help you guys out potentially, right? In some ways, because how many times have we missed a trade because I was too focused on entering the trade, right? So this might even benefit you guys where I'm able to really give more entries for you and be able to focus on even more potential entries as usual, or as I used to. I just personally won't be in them with you. I won't be paying attention to what the broker says versus what TradingView actually says. I know how the brokers kind of work. I know there's a little bit of wiggle room, right? The price might say 531 right here. It might be at 535. It might be at 527 on the broker. I'm aware of all of that, which is an advantage, but I just will no longer be in those trades with you. Okay. I personally don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. You know, I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it. I'm assuming you guys, it doesn't really bother you, right? It doesn't really affect your wallets. If anything, it might help your wallets. But I did want to make that clear, just so that we're aware, right? I want to maintain full transparency about all of that. So going into that, let's see, more important information. So yeah, because of the fact that I won't be actively trading HFX and I'll be able to really focus more on giving trades, I do intend to expand on more than just HFX. Now, I'm not going to be doing some guru like, oh, I teach everything. I'm not going to be teaching crypto. I really genuinely don't believe that I am in a position of trading crypto. I'm comfortable trading it for myself, or not trading, teaching crypto. I'm able to trade for myself, but I personally would not teach you guys it because I don't have anywhere near the level of mastery of crypto markets as I do, or the understanding of crypto markets as I do with the foreign exchange markets. But in terms of that, I am very familiar, and I do have a very, very high level of mastery of the normal foreign exchange markets, right? So things like MetaTrader 4, and being able to take trades on, you know, whatever you want to, Hugo's Way, you know, things like that, Osprey FX, those kinds of brokers. So I'm intending to also begin expanding into that in terms of calls. We're going to start off with having 1 or 2 sessions a week that will also cover those kinds of entries. And what I'm actually going to do, okay, is essentially, as you know, the HFX markets tend to struggle on Mondays, or Tuesdays, or even like Fridays. You don't really want to trade on Fridays, but those are days that we could utilize to always gain knowledge, right? So on those slower volatility days, we're going to start gearing the schedule to start including just normal foreign exchange markets, because those are things that I can give them the setups for days before it happens. And then when it does reach, you know, there's a lot of profit to be made. Sorry, that's my dog in the background. So that is going to be what we're going to do from then on. So we're going to maintain HFX, and then we're going to also add Forex to it. This is no price increase on the course. And I will say this, the course is not drastically expensive. It's about the same price as IM add-on. It's $65 to start, but it's $50 a month. So it's genuinely the same price as Swipecoin is the same price as I want to say Hourglass even. It's the same price as a lot of those different things. So it's nothing too crazy. But again, like I said, if that is something that you feel is too much or overwhelming or something, please reach out to me, message me on Telegram, or DM me on Instagram, because I want to help as much as I can. Okay. And then aside from that, in terms of the schedule, right? So going on to the schedule, so here's what's going on with that. I am having a flyer completed after the finalization is done, what it's looking like. So this is contingent on a couple of things, but what the schedule is looking like right now. Okay, I'm gonna put it out like this and then fill it in. There won't be anything on Saturdays, I know that, but here we go. Saturdays, no calls. Okay, Sundays, I'm looking at Sundays for market overviews. Like I said, we're expanding into more than just HFX. And so I am very, very open to looking at market overviews, weekly overviews on Sundays, looking at potential setups that we may take within the couple days into the week. So, okay, right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the names of what we may be doing rather than a time. Mondays are going to be training. Tuesday is going to be HFX trading. Wednesday will be HFX trading. Thursday, HFX trading. So if you see, it's still majority HFX. Okay. And then Friday, we may do market recap. Like I said, this is all contingent. Okay, this is all contingent. What's gonna happen is this. I'm looking at Mondays in the morning. Okay, so I'm just waiting for all these times to be finalized. Tuesdays evening, Wednesdays morning. I can go back to potentially morning/evening, and then Thursday is definitely going to be evening. And this is essentially what we're looking at. So in terms of particular times, like I said, still contingent, just because of the incident that happened last time, which was I had the schedule set in stone. We started working the schedule, and then essentially my semester started up, right? I'm still a college student, you guys. Semester started up, practice started up because I'm also a student athlete. And so then I had my class schedule getting in the way, and I had my practice getting in the way. And so it started making things a little bit difficult, right? So in order to make sure everything's fine, I need everything solidified. I am waiting, since I'm going to be in season and it's no longer preseason, I'll be practicing more. I have to get the times finalized by my coach of when practice will be. I know it won't start until the end of the month, but I don't want to start something on the 3rd just to change it 2-3 weeks from now, right? I do not want to be inconsistent with you guys. So right now, this is essential what we're looking at, subject to change. I really want to make that clear. When that is clear, the schedule will drop, schedule will be pinned. But from now on, most things will more than likely not be pinned in the Telegram. I'll keep the Telegram going for support. If you make the decision that you cannot be with DTM right now, financially, whatever, you just choose not to, that's fine. I'm going to keep it open and support as much as I can in a way that is fair to people that are actually enrolled into DTM. But most of this information, whenever something comes out, it will be put here. There's going to be live communication available, all of that. And then in the future, we will set up our own chat. But as of right now, everything will be found in the DTM course. And then one more thing that's important, which is going to be recapping on kind of why December was a quiet month. Super interested in this. I'm glad. I've been putting a lot of effort. Actually, 2 more pieces of information. So in terms of December, why December was very quiet, is something that I will be doing from now on. So essentially what happened, a lot of things happened. My sister graduated college, holidays came up, and if you know, the market's very, very inconsistent over the holiday time. A lot more volatility, a lot of different things going on. And then we also have the new variant coming out, which that's not a normal thing, but it is kind of a normal thing now. If you know what I mean. But essentially what's going to happen, guys, these sessions, the course, live courses like the, or not courses, but live sessions like this will happen January through November. Okay. And then December, I more than likely, like 99% will not run calls that are like this. It won't be trading calls. If I run calls, it will be trainings, and it will be things like wrap ups and things like that. And that's going to go more into the content that we're going to be covering from now on. And so it kind of ties into that. So that'll make sense in a couple minutes. But essentially, December is just too, in my opinion, as the market, like December is just too much. Like there's too much going on. And it's not worth risking it, especially around the time of the holidays. Like no one wants to lose money in the holidays. You're losing enough money in December, right? We don't need to give the market any more free money, right? So for me, that's a decision I have made a long time ago. But I wanted to just say on here to make it clear. So these calls in terms of actual trading, it would be January through November. December would be, you could treat it as a break. If you don't want to join the calls, it's fine. Or you could join the calls and do the recaps with me, which is what I'm getting into. So the content, right? January through November is going to be trading. It's going to be training in Forex and HFX. The training series that I plan on doing is an extensive, I can't stress enough, extensive series that I'm doing that I particularly have learned about the market rather recently, but made the market extremely more familiar to me. I was already familiar with the market in one way. It familiarized it to me in a way that I didn't even think, and in a way that I promise you, there's no educator I've ever watched that understands the market in that way, because it's actually built on the technicals of how the market was designed. It was built on the technicals of how wealth was designed, built on the technicals of exactly how the government interacts with the market, how firms interact with the market, how they interact with each other to affect the market. And so you'll be able to see things a lot more clear. And essentially what I'm going to give you as an analogy, it's like a crystal ball that I'm going to teach you how to use, and teach you how to look at events and look at news, you know, looking at Forex Factory, but looking at even current news, things that are happening around you, and be able to really truly see exactly what's coming in the future, so that you can have a better idea of what the market is doing as a whole. Okay. And that really shows more on the Forex side than the HFX, but it's good to know, even on the HFX side, it's good to thoroughly know what you're trading, right? So all of these things are going to be covered. And then that's going to be on the training side. The trading side will be normal. As I said, it's just going to be calling out the trades and analyzing it on the day-to-day. So the training is going to have a micro scale, which is that day-to-day analysis, which is trainings that we've done before, right? The strategy, things like that. It's going to have risk management, things like that. But then it's going to have a more macro scale, and really understanding like the foreign exchange market. It's foreign exchange. It's genuinely Euro JPY isn't just the euro against the yen. It's, you know, European nations versus Japan, like things like that, and really understanding the meaning of that, so that you can really understand how to utilize what's going on around you to your advantage at all times. Okay, so I'm hoping that makes sense. And then December would be only things like that. It would only be trainings. I would probably open up more time for one-on-ones and group trainings that people might want, but then I would also do a lot more recap and resets, which is essentially like recapping on the year, being able to see your growth, seeing where you're struggling, learning how to really look back on how you did, and helping to make plans for next year, right? So even though it's 2022, we're already talking about 2023. You know, December, it's basically saying, okay, based on this is my plans, you know, these are my plans, this is what I want to do, this is what I don't want to focus on in the market, so that you're always going into every new year really knowing exactly what you want, because as long as you know what you want and you can see it, I promise you can achieve it. All right, so I want to open it up real quick. If anyone has any questions, please let me know right now. Because this is recorded. As I said, it's going to be posted on YouTube, so that people will be able to see this and know that this exists. So, you know, if anyone has a question, I'm sure someone else would have the same kind of question. So please ask right now. What's your Instagram? I want to get connected. Great question. My Instagram is this, at who's Deja. At who's Deja. So it's my Instagram right there. No problem. Okay, so we got a little bit of time left. It's a Monday. Again, you guys know, not a big fan. And as you see, just to point it out, this, I'm not going to clear it out yet. All of this is literally all analysis that I've done with a student, I guess I'll say, off of the one-on-one trainings. So it's just a show. I'm being serious, like this genuine one-on-one trainings. I forgot this was even here, but if you see, levels are respected. He understands the market significantly better. I mean, like significantly. So I'm not BSing, you know, I have no reason to. I really don't. And you guys know that. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you know I'm not BSing anyone. So, but yeah, just to get a little bit of analysis in, you know, give you a little bit more of kind of an idea what we're looking at for this year and moving forward, right? We're very used to my Forex analysis. I will say this, not much changes from my HFX, not much changes from HFX to Forex. Actually, most things stay the same. You have to understand Forex it helps if you understand Forex and you can understand HFX. So a lot of these things are very similar. What I mean by that is, you know, essentially, you know, looking at the market, no, it's not my favorite, but, you know, I'm essentially seeing very, very similar markups. For example, on a 5-minute scale, I would do the same thing, which is seeing this area right here, area of liquidity, maybe putting a stop loss below around this range. I would prefer this, but we might have to go a little bit lower, 20, 50. So we could do two different trades here. So I'm gonna throw this one out there. If you want to take it, go ahead. And I think I'll leave you with that, like leave you with a potential entry if you trade on Forex. If you don't, I recommend doing it. It's pretty good, right? Looking at a buy here, 2 potential levels, right? So my first one, I messed that up. First one, my entry is here, my stop loss is there, looking at about a 20 pip stop loss. Your first take profit would be this level right here. Take profits would be the same on all of them. Take profit 1 is there. Take profit 2 looks like here, depending on how this closes. That may be take profit 2, and then take profit 3 being there. So up to about 117 pips. That's a 1-to-5 risk to reward ratio. And then looking at the same thing, but slightly riskier, is putting it at the edge of this institutional level, right? So now I'm looking at, okay, I switched up by accident. Now I'm looking at a 50 pip stop loss, a little bit more breathing room, but you know, kind of a little bit less risk, right? So lower your risk on that, 1 to 2.5 ratio. You can maybe swing a little more. This one, I would recommend when you get about 10 pips into profit, move your stop loss to break even. This one, when you get 10 pips in profit, move your stop loss to this stop loss up here, and then continue to let it ride all the way through, right? So this is just an example of what I would be looking at potentially in the market as a Forex trade. You guys know that for HFX, it's basically the same thing. But what I'll go ahead and do in case you want it, so I'm going to go ahead and publish that idea. Oh, that's not what I meant. Okay, hang on. So I'm using, okay, I'll drop it later into the, oh wait, here it is. There we go. All right, copy link to the chart. And we're gonna put it into the chat right here, boom, right? So if you want it, go ahead and open that, showing where to purchase access to the calls. Yes, so in terms of purchasing access to the calls, essentially, actually, let me do this right here. Go to dashboard. Let me do it like this, actually. Gonna open it incognito as if I haven't done it before. And then there's two ways you could do it. You can go up to all courses and training, and there you go. So this is a bundle one. So it basically it's a combination of it, the course and your first one-on-one. It's a good one to kind of like be able to plan out your trading plans, or get some basic questions answered before you start. But if not, then you just go down to here, HFX training course, and then it's going to show the curriculum and all of that, so you can see what's in it. And you would click on purchase, and then you would sign up, right? Go ahead, sign up, and then you can sign in with Google, all that different stuff, and then that's basically it. If you did not want to actually do the course, but you wanted to do one-on-ones or group, it's essentially the same thing. So this one for one-on-one, it's 30 individually, and then for group, it's 15 per person. So it's half the price, and you get more time. So rather than 60 minutes, you get an hour and a half, since there's more of you. So, and it's all the same thing, right? So go there, buy this one, you get a free preview, so you can kind of see, kind of explain, account growth analysis, training, or a trading session, or any other things, but it's the same thing. You would make an account, all of that. Whenever you do sign up for the one-on-ones, what's actually going to happen is you would book me. So you would come down here and book the session. So this is my hours of availability, and you would just book me through there. You'll get an email, I'll get an email, and then we go from there. I'll reach out to you, and then we will get that call going. So that's essentially how DTM is going to look. In the future, I plan on really expanding into, I want to actually do in-person things, trading competitions, just things like that, to really, really give incentive to learn. Again, my main concern is making sure that everyone truly understands how to trade. I really, really, like, that's been my thing. And I believe you guys know that. Like, I really hope you guys do. I'll put the link to the chat. That is what the link, oh, I put it in direct message, my bad. Hang on. Okay, that's what the link looks like. So, this really is intentional in making sure you guys truly understand what you're doing. Okay. And again, I'm about to end it, but again, like I said, if you have any questions or you need help with something, please reach out to me. I can't stress it enough. Like, my intention is not to scam anyone out, juke anyone out. I want to help. That's the only reason I'm here at this point. So, and I'm literally not even allowed, because some people before accuse me, oh, you're just trying to take money from the course so you can have money to fund your account. I can't even trade on an account anymore. I'm not allowed to trade HFX because my job doesn't even offer HFX. It doesn't offer binary options. So there's nowhere that I'm putting the money except into reinvestments for the course. Okay, so there's going to be new videos coming out. New sections going to be added as the training sessions go. A new section will be added. It'll be continuing on. It's going to be about 6 months long if we do one session a week of training. So a lot of information is going to be dropped. And it's truly worth it, in my opinion. I did as much as I could to make it something that I would want to buy for myself. I would want to enroll in, you know? So with that being said, guys, I'm glad to be back. I hope, like I said, I hope everyone had a good year. And I hope that we're going to have an even better one this time around. Everyone have a good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow for training. Hopefully, hopefully I'll see you guys there. All right. Good night.